Here's the brutal truth nobody wants to admit. Ruben Amorim's Manchester United tenure is already over, and the so-called shocking ultimatum everyone's talking about was visible from space months ago. The Portuguese manager's fate was sealed the moment he walked through Old Trafford's doors, stubbornly clutching his tactical playbook like a security blanket. But here's where it gets controversial. Maybe that's exactly what INEOS wanted all along. Following yet another round of emergency talks between Amorim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the media circus has erupted with breathless reports of ultimatums and deadline pressure. The reality? This was always the plan, and anyone paying attention saw this car crash coming from miles away. Sitting uncomfortably in 14th position after just 4 matches into the 2025-26 campaign, United's performance levels haven't improved one iota from last season's disasters. The Red Devils look every bit as disjointed, predictable, and frankly, clueless as they did throughout the previous campaign struggles. And this is the part most people miss. Amorim's unwavering commitment to his beloved 3-4-3 system isn't just tactical stubbornness. It's professional suicide. Despite overwhelming evidence that this formation simply doesn't mesh with United's current personnel, the former sporting boss continues doubling down on his approach with the determination of a captain steering his ship straight into an iceberg. The manager's recent admission that his team performs well until the boxes essentially translates to, "We're decent at passing the ball around meaninglessly, but completely useless when it actually matters." That's not a minor tactical tweak needed. That's a fundamental systematic failure that screams for immediate overhaul. Legendary striker Alan Shearer's prediction that Amorim will die on his sword rather than adapt his methods appears increasingly prophetic. The Portuguese tactician seems determined to prove his system works, even if it destroys his Premier League reputation in the process. But here's where the narrative gets truly ridiculous. TalkSport's bombshell exclusive about Ratcliffe delivering an ultimatum demanding European qualification. Seriously? Breaking news. Manchester United expects to qualify for European competition. Stop the presses. This groundbreaking revelation ranks somewhere between water is wet and the sky appears blue. Ratcliffe's supposed demand for European football qualification isn't an ultimatum. It's the absolute bare minimum expectation for any United manager, particularly after another summer of massive financial investment in squad improvement. Calling this an exclusive is like claiming he's discovered that professional footballers prefer winning to losing. The INEOS chief's belief that United's current squad possesses the quality for a top 5 Premier League finish reveals a staggering disconnect from reality that would be comedic if it weren't so damaging to the club's prospects. Let's examine the harsh facts. Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, and Chelsea all possess demonstrably superior squads across every position. Furthermore, both Tottenham and Newcastle can legitimately argue they've assembled more balanced, cohesive teams than United's expensive collection of mismatched pieces. Ratcliffe's optimistic assessment suggests either complete ignorance of the competitive landscape or dangerous self-delusion about United's actual capabilities. This naive perspective exposes his fundamental lack of football understanding and raises serious questions about INEOS's decision-making competency. The painful irony? United continues generating record revenues while delivering increasingly embarrassing on-pitch performances. The commercial success masks the sporting decline, creating a false sense of progress that enables continued mediocrity. Amorim's potential salvation lies in abandoning his tactical obsession and embracing a more suitable 4-2-3-1 formation that actually complements his players' strengths. However, his apparent unwillingness to consider such adaptation suggests he'd rather maintain his philosophical purity than achieve practical success. The mathematical reality remains stark. United requires either a miraculous tactical transformation or several marquee January signings to avoid consecutive bottom-half Premier League finishes. Given Amorim's apparent inflexibility and the squad's current limitations, neither scenario appears remotely likely. This creates the perfect storm for managerial change, with Ratcliffe's ultimatum providing convenient cover for a decision that was probably made weeks ago. The meeting between owner and manager feels less like crisis talks and more like exit negotiations disguised as last chance discussions. But here's the million-dollar question that nobody's asking. What if this entire scenario represents INEOS's actual strategy? What if Amorim was always intended as a transitional figure, brought in to take the blame for another season of underachievement, while the real long-term planning happens behind closed doors? The timing feels suspiciously convenient, the ultimatum laughably obvious, and the expected outcome tragically predictable. United fans deserve better than this theatrical performance masquerading as competent leadership. So here's my controversial take. Maybe Ratcliffe's naive public statements and Amorim's tactical stubbornness aren't separate problems. Maybe they're two parts of the same calculated PR strategy designed to manage expectations while planning the next managerial change. What do you think? Is Amorim genuinely fighting for his job? Or is this entire drama just elaborate theater designed to prepare fans for yet another managerial casualty? And more importantly, how long will United supporters tolerate this cycle of false hope, followed by inevitable disappointment?